Welcome back. Today we will be looking into parallel and perpendicular lines. So let's just get straight into it. If two straight lines have gradients m1 and m2, then the lines are parallel if m1 is equal to m2. Basically, if both of the gradients of those two straight lines are exactly the same. If two straight lines have gradients m1 and m2, then the lines are perpendicular if you multiply m1 and m2 together, and the result leads you to a -1. So if you multiply both of them together, both of those two gradients, and it comes out as -1, it's a perpendicular line. So let's look at our first example here. Okay, so it says find the equation of the line parallel to the line 3x minus 6y plus 8 equal to 0 and passing the point -1, -2. So in the red here, I have written down the steps for you to, approach these type of examples or questions. My first step is to arrange ax plus by plus c equals 0, which is my general form, into the form of my gradient intercept form, y equals mx plus b, or in this case nowadays, it should be c. Okay, so we need to arrange our equation, which is 3x minus 6y plus 8 equal to 0, into the form of y equals mx plus c. Basically, in simple terms, make y the subject. Okay, make y by itself. So to do that, let's do the most easiest things first. Let's assess it. Okay, I want my y to be positive. Is my y here, my -6y, is it positive? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that -6y on the other side. To do that, I'm going to add 6y on both sides. This will cancel that on the left-hand side. And what I have now is I have 3x plus 8 equal to 6y. All right, my y is positive. That's fine. Let's start doing the nitty-gritty stuff. I want y by itself. In between the 6y and the 6 and the y, there's an invisible multiplication sign. So what I'm going to do now is to get rid of that 6 to make y by itself. I'm going to divide it by 6 on both sides. This 6 will cancel out. And what I'm actually left with is y equals to, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to write it down as 3x over 6 plus 8 over 6. Now, looking at this one here, I think I can simplify it, right, to make it look nice. It'll be y equals to 1 over 2, or half x, plus 4 over 3. So I have changed the form into y equals half x plus 4 over 3. Okay, that is me arranging that equation already into the form of my gradient intercept form. My next step is use y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 to find the equation parallel to the line. See how I got given the point here? I'm just going to write it down right underneath here. -1, -2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my point gradient form. So I'm going to rewrite it here. Okay. My x1 and my y1 will be from the point -1 and -2. So I'm going to label x1, y1. My gradient is, because I'm trying to find the gradient that is parallel to the line, I said from my notes that for it to be parallel, my gradient must be the same. So in my gradient for the first line, 3x minus 6y plus 8, my gradient was a positive half. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sub in my gradient first. For it to be parallel, it must be the exact same gradient, which is half. Then I'm going to just sub in my y1, which is a -2, equals to half, and then just sub in my x1, which is -1. Before I do anything else, I'm going to just make it look nice and clean. A negative and a negative turns into a positive, so I'm just going to do that. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to rewrite it. Y plus 2 equals to half x plus 1. Then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get rid of those brackets. To get rid of it, I'm going to use my arrows, and I'm going to use my multiplication. Half times x should be half x plus half times 1, positive half. I'm fine with this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 2, this positive 2 on this side here. So I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. This will cancel out. And what I'm left with is y equals half x. I think it should be a negative. Just put positive half minus 2 into your calculator and you should get a -3/2. So my answer is this. This is the line that is parallel to the line of y equals half x plus 4/3. Okay, that's example 1. Let's go into example 2. Find the equation of the line passing through the point 6, -3 and perpendicular. So this time I'm looking at a perpendicular line to y equals -2/3x plus 4. Again, the writing that is in red is your steps for you to take. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find the gradient of the perpendicular line. So looking at my equation that I got given for one of the line, y equals -2/3x plus 4. My gradient is -2/3 for this particular equation. So what I'm going to write down is m1. I'm going to label m1, which is my first equation, or the gradient of the first equation, as -2/3. Okay, I'm going to just scroll up here just to see what my, I guess, formula is or my knowledge is. For the two straight lines to be perpendicular, it must be m1 times m2 should equal to -1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it into the formula. m1 times m2 equals to -1. Substitute where my m1 is, which is -2/3, times it by m2 equals to -1. We're going to do simple algebra, okay? I'm just going to do it the simple way or the long way, I guess. I'm going to multiply the denominator 3. Multiply 3 to that denominator so that I can get rid of it. 3/3, I'll just get rid of it. What I'm left with now is -2 times m squared, or m2, equal to -3 times 3 is -3. And then to get rid of this -2, it's connected to the m2 by a multiplication sign. So I'm going to divide it by -2 on both sides. This will cancel out. And my second gradient should be a +3 on 2. The reason being is there are two negatives on the numerator and the denominator. So two negatives, if I divide it together, it turns into a positive. Okay, so that's my gradient to find for my perpendicular line. My next step is to put the gradient and point in either the gradient intercept form or the point gradient. You can use either or. Okay, I'm just going to use the gradient intercept form here. So y equals mx plus c. I said that, or I found that the second gradient for my perpendicular line, M2, is 3 over 2. And my point, just let's look at the question. My point is 6, negative 3. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to substitute my gradient 3 over 2. Let's see. And I'm going to just substitute these points into the formula. So my x is my 6. Just going to substitute, and my y is negative 3. So that then I can find my y-intercept. Okay. So let's do it. All you have to do is put into the calculator. Negative 3 equals to, what's 3 on 2 times by 6 equal to? That equals to 9 plus c. What would my c be? That's minus 9 on both sides. This will cancel out. Negative 3 minus 9 should equal to negative 12. So my y-intercept is is negative 12. So my full equation should be y equals 3 over 2x minus 12. So this is the line that is perpendicular to the line y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 4. Hopefully that helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.